What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? And Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
What is going on? So, welcome to another episode of the show. So, if you have not already, please hit that like, share, subscribe, all those buttons, hit a bell. There's a bell involved. Our numbers are doing very well, so I greatly appreciate all of you checking in. Stick around. Like, I see good over half of you watch the episode, seem to enjoy it, but you don't subscribe. I need you to subscribe, all right? Make that commitment. We love you, all right? Don't break our hearts. But without further
smash that
ado,
like button and smack that subscribe button.
There it is. There it is. Like, I need you to be passionate about
That's
it.
right.
But also check us out. We're on a bunch of different platforms. So now we're on YouTube, both video and audio. We're in all the other platforms that you're used to. So Apple, Google, Amazon, Anchor, Breaker, Republic FM, I think, or something like that. Like, we're everywhere, as well as now we write articles. So check us out on LinkedIn. We're the daily article to go with every post with all the stuff embedded as well. So one-stop shop, as well as now we're on Medium. So if you like to digest your content over there, check us out. We greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
So before I start, like the first thing that came to mind when you said "Don't break our heart" was Tony Braxton, man. It was "Unbreak My Heart." That was the first
Yes.
thing that came to mind.
If it makes you stick around, I'll sing it. All right.
But anyway,
Oh man.
this first article is from CNBC.com, written by Susan Caminiti. It's why Unitedhealth changed healthcare. We're targeted by ransomware hackers and more cybercrime will hit patients and doctors. And so, pretty much the gist of the article here, what they hit on was what we have been saying already, right? Like, the medical industry is a soft target. It's one of those things to where they're a soft target because that type of information is stuff that can be potentially embarrassing and people just don't want out there, right? And the companies that have this information, that have your PHI, they know this, right? Something they said in this article that got me, that I was not tracking. Like, I know you pay a certain amount of money, right? When it comes to your stuff being sold online, but they actually have the figures here, right? And they said that medical records sell for $60 compared to $15 for a Social Security number and $3 for a credit card. That is astronomically high for a medical record to sell for $60. I know it doesn't sound like a much, right? Like, okay, you may spend $60 out on a date with the wife or the husband or significant other or whatever, right? Like, when you have a hack of this magnitude and the millions of health records that may have been compromised here, like, that's a lot of money. So I knew there was money to be made for it, but I did not realize it was this lucrative, right? So this thing is still ongoing with this Unitedhealth Change Healthcare subsidiary that got hacked last month. Right? What it is Change Healthcare is the largest clearinghouse for insurance billing payments in the U.S. So all these insurance companies that run wild in the U.S., and we kind of talked about this offline a little bit too, me and Chris a little bit, where we were talking about how these insurance companies are just making money hand over foot, and how much medical debt there is in America. I don't want to say they're getting their comeuppance, right? I don't want to say that, but like, this is one of those things where it's for the amount of money that you are paying out when it comes to healthcare in the United States. Like, this is a lot. There's a lot of people, right? Because again, they're the largest clearinghouse that are affected by this. It just needs to be, you need to take better care of this type of information, right? So here's the thing, seeing as how lucrative as that it is now, right? Like, I'm not going to say this is the case, but there could have been some hacker groups that didn't know it was as lucrative as it is, right? Like, this article, they can be reading this article and be like, oh my gosh, really? Is that, maybe I've just been stealing Social Security numbers, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I need to move to the medical field.
Yeah, they'll switch their whole game up.
Exactly, because there's money to be made now, right? Like, seeing how much it is, $60, right? 60 and then 15 and then 3. I'm like, wow, that is phenomenal. That's crazy. But Chris, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, really, first thoughts was, so the way this works is a clearinghouse that does all the payments for medical. So they charge the consumer or the insurance provider, and they bills the applicable business partners or things like that when it comes to some of these care. So really what they're doing, what the hackers are doing is they're going after where it hurts. They're hacking organizations that they know will have to pay, because this clearinghouse is a means of how United Healthcare gets paid, how these hospitals get paid, how these hospitals get paid to pay their employees, right? So there's many downstream, first, second, third order effects regarding this. So these companies like this will pay. So them being the largest clearinghouse for the largest, health insurance group in the world, or at least in the United States, is a huge thing. Additionally, I did want to also point out, right, there's so many complications when it comes to medical billing, right? It's like us consumers, we look at a medical bill and like, where did this stuff come from? The billing industry, right, for medical is already extremely nebulous, right? There's really no real understanding or standard of how things get billed, right? You go to the doctor's office, you look at your bill, like, where does X-ray come from? We don't know the methodology. There's no set standards, right? To me, it's like it's already organized chaos to some degree. But when you add a layer of, you got advanced persistent threats looking at it, attacking your infrastructure, you're really, really reeling, right? They're hitting these companies where it hurts. Additionally, the level of complexity that these advanced persistent threats are, these attacks to, the article states something called ransomware as a service, right? To me, that just means cloud-based, off premises, a lot of autonomous means to conduct a distributed denial of service. So they're finding every open port. They're finding every means where they can ask for do a spray of password to a rainbow table attack, things like that. So really, it's almost like that the criminal or the people trying to be bad, right? It's the same thing. Unfortunately, though, like they're always at upper hand. As fast as we're evolving our zero trust capabilities as an industry, cybersecurity industry, there is always gonna be the somebody with bad intent is always gonna have the upper hand because they've got enough. And especially if they're state sponsored like this, they recruit the smartest people from their respective countries. They make them become hackers at an early age. That's what they do for a living. It's their entire life. Like it's like the car just stopped them against the good guys, right? So that's just kind of my 2 cents there. I think ransomware as a service is the huge problem, right? And the more convenient our tools get as consumers, we can just host stuff in the cloud now. We can just rely on on-premises software service, rely on the server's infrastructure and service solutions. But you know what? The adversary has that same capability. They will utilize those capabilities just such that it makes their lives easier as well. We should ensure make cybersecurity professionals' lives harder.
So Ryan, real quick before you jump in here, right? So like you're hitting it on the head here, Chris. So like the second and third order effects of this, right? So you talked about how, people aren't getting paid, right? So doctors aren't getting paid, nurses aren't getting paid, assistants aren't getting paid. Like the second and third order effects of this is that they may not want to stay doing what they're doing, right? Like there's already a shortage of doctors out there, right? Or doctors that'll take certain insurances. You already have those things to deal with, right? But like when you have something like this, they're like, why am I dealing with this? Like I went to school for 13 years, you know what I mean, to have, insert title here, you know what I mean, and not get paid for it. It's just crazy. And the ransomware as a service, like it just makes it easier for everybody else that may not be as proficient to go out here and just say, yeah, I will pay you to provide me these tools to be able to do what I want to do, right? Like they no longer have to come up with it on their own. And that's like making it easier like that by offering it as a service, as we do everything as a service, right? Software as a service, infrastructure as a service. Like that's just the way everything is going. But it just makes it, those second and third order effects are really what you have to worry about, in that people are going to be like, I just don't want to be in this game anymore. Like I've got so much money in like school debt, you know what I mean? Like I can't afford to not get paid while I'm seeing these people and doing work. So, but Ryan, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I had to jump in there real quick.
No, it's perfect. I think it really adds to the conversation. So before I jump in, again, pandering. Like, share, subscribe. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Okay. The math ain't mathing. Okay. Just on this article alone, the reason that I brought it back up is because it's still ongoing. Like, so it's been on my news feed and it's been on the local news because I'm getting old. I listen to local news now. Continuously. We reported back on this on February 28th. So it happened just prior to that because we're always a little bit behind because of the way we record our sessions. And people are still unable to receive their care providers are unable to bill and unable to receive their money. Like, this is causing a backlog and some issues to the point where the federal government is now involved in investigating, which they would have been in there anyway because it affects people's health records and PII. However, it's been expedited. They're being very aggressive right now because it's being so disruptive, especially with this clearinghouse being so big and impacting so many people. When we talked about it on February 28th, we were saying that if you're GoodRx, Publix, CVS, Walgreens, the VA, all disrupted. So it was vast. We made jokes about, we got to get your vitamin V, right? It's stopping people from getting their Viagra and things of that nature. It still is. It's stopping doctors from charging, which is a huge offense. But then, like Shannon said, the numbers are wild. I did not expect to see that. So again, this was a big one for us, a big topic for us, just to indicate how bad this is for people. Usually our videos do fairly well, but just alone on just this one that we entitled "The Aftermath of the Change Healthcare Cyber Attack," which I'm getting better at titling videos and things of that nature. It's almost 1,000 audio listens on YouTube alone, not our other platforms, just YouTube, and then almost 300 on the video, just YouTube, right? I got people in the comments, they're asking questions. Like, people are very interested because it affects their health. Not only that, but now we see it also affects the bottom line because these costs will be passed on to the consumer. The healthcare industry is not going to take this hit. They're going to pass it on to the people who are most vulnerable. So, like Shannon said, those numbers are ridiculous. Like, when it comes to it being worth your medical record is worth 20 times more than your credit card. It's worth 4 times more than your social security number. So if I am a person trying to be an upcomer in this, because these are businesses, these bad guys, like, we want to say that they're gangs, it's a cabal, it's a bunch of hackers in the basement. Like, they're structured like real business because it is so lucrative to attack you and get your information that they're now hiring people. They have HR departments, they have public relations, public PA, they have a court system for bad guys. Think about that. It's not like a shadowy thing where they meet each other in the alleyways, right? Like, this is real. They have people with degrees who are arbiters between the different ransomware organizations and their employees. That is ridiculous. Like, this is a real, not legitimate, but it's a real business. They're organized in a corporate structure. So they're being very aggressive when it comes to ransomware as a service. Disinformation as a service is also a thing that's starting to ramp up, especially now around political season. Like, these are organizations that have headcount and they're not laying people off. This industry on that side, the bad guys are growing, which also is a sad turn of events, right? As we release defenders of cybersecurity, some of them are being employed as now attackers of cybersecurity. Have to be. Like, where are they getting these people from? Like, it has to be the revolving door is leading to the bad guy side. It's ridiculous. So think about that. Like, you need to talk to as a constituent. You need to talk to your Congress person as I guess, what am I trying to say? As a person who buys things, as a consumer. There you go. As a consumer, you need to get on your whomever billing agency or what have you. Like, they need to put more money into this. They don't need to be losing headcount. They need to be plussing up because now you have a target on your back. 20 times more than your credit card. That used to be the thing. Credit cards used to be the number one scam. If I'm a credit card person, I'm just looking at this like, that's some good money. I need way less medical records than I needed credit card numbers in order for me to make a 6-figure income, right? Think about that. And I'm not trying to recruit bad people. Like, if you listen to this and you're a bad person, hang up. Cut it off right now. But what I'm trying to say is those people who are having to fund this, because you ultimately are funding this, not only by them consuming your medical records, but also your insurance is going to go up. My insurance is going to go up. All of our insurance is going to go up. So we need to press upon the federal government to do a better job. Because I hate attacking the healthcare industry, because I don't think they're as bad off as some of the other industries, like finance and things of that nature when it comes to end of life services. Like we like to say, like, oh, they're behind, they're still on XP, they're end of life, but that is the world in general is lagging behind. It's just that it's so lucrative. Why would you not attack the medical industry if you're making 20 times more off of these records? So that just means that unfortunately they need to step their game up just that much more. They need to hire the best of the best in order to defend their systems. They need to invest the most amount of money in order to plus up their infrastructure. Like you have no choice at this point, because now you are the number one target, so to speak. At least the number one target in the civilian sector, right? Like government in general is the number one target. But when it comes to you and the bottom line, you're high up there. You're high in the food chain because your medical records are tasty. All right. So you got to step your game up. It just is the way it is. Good stuff. So yeah, I mean, people are super interested. Like this one spiked. Like you have evergreen content, right? Like things that are always going to draw attention. This one is our evergreen. Like this one is our second highest video in the past almost 4 years, and it's only been up since February 28th. Like it's continuously spiking. People are continuously interested because it affects their health and their bottom line. Like nothing's better than your health, right? So what do they say? Health, wealth, and something else. Health is up there. So definitely continue to tune in. Definitely continue to check us out on all the platforms. Again, we're on everything you can think of. YouTube is doing really well right now, both video and audio. But however you're consuming this, hit that subscribe button, like, share, all that good stuff. And then if you prefer to consume your media a little bit different, like I said, on LinkedIn as well as on Medium, you can find our articles per episode, and the episode will be embedded both audio and video, links back to other episodes. You can leave comments. You can converse with the audience on both LinkedIn and Medium. And now we have a weekly newsletter that drops on Fridays. We call it the Weekly Rundown, which has everything, a recap of all of our episodes. Everything's embedded, so it's a one-stop shop. All you do is go there, listen, watch. You don't even have to leave whatever platform you're currently on. So try to make it as convenient for you as possible. We greatly appreciate you guys checking us out. Definitely leave us your feedback. Continue to hit us up on all the websites that go by our name, either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask Us SP. You can find me personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, Instagram, not TikTok. Not because they're about to get banned, but because you won't accept my videos for some reason. I don't know why. That's because I'm old, I guess. And you, Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn under Chris Avacon, last name spelled A.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.